All right, you're welcome to my class. My name is Mr. Matthew Osagi Lawani, and I am your lecturer for PSB 201 Seedless Plants. Our first topic is ecology of seedless plants. What are seedless plants? Seedless plants are also known as cryptograms. Please, you can take your notes and write all these important facts down. They are a group of plants that reproduce without the formation of seeds. That is why they are called seedless. When you say something is seedless, it means that it does not have seeds. So it's not all the plants you see around you that can produce seeds. Plants that cannot produce seeds are called seedless plants. If they cannot reproduce via seeds, so through which medium can they reproduce? They reproduce through spores, spores, spores. Instead of seeds, these plants produce spores as a means of reproduction. Seedless plants do not produce flowers, fruits, or seeds like seed-producing plants. So we have seedless plants, they cannot produce seeds. And then we have spermatophytes. These are the plants that can produce seeds. So I can tell you that seedless plants are lower plants, while spermatophytes, that means plants that can produce through seeds, are higher plants. So all those plants you see around you that can reproduce through seeds, they are higher plants. Okay. We have three major groups when we are talking about seedless plants. We have the first group, algae, the thallophyta. Then we have the bryophytes, the mosses, and then we have the pteridophytes, the ferns. These are the three major groups. Please take note of these groups. These are the various pictures. The first picture that popped out or that popped up is the bryophytes, and then we have the ferns and then the algae. Some facts you need to know. The bryophytes are small non-vascular plants. When we say non-vascular, they do not have xylem and phloem. They include the mosses, the liverwort, and the unwort. They lack true roots, stems, and leaves. And instead, they have simple structures that fulfill similar functions. That means they do not have stems, they do not have roots, but they have things that behave like roots, things that behave like stems and leaves. Bryophytes reproduce using spores from specialized structures called sporangia. Please take note of that. I'm definitely going to ask such kind of questions. I can ask you, I can say, bryophytes reproduce using spores released from what? A, sporangia, B, D, C, that. So you have to take note of these important facts, okay? Pteridophytes. Pteridophytes are vascular plants that include ferns, horsetails, and club mosses. They have true roots, stems, and leaves. So when we say something is vascular, it means that um, it has vascular bundles, like it has a good root system. It has xylem and phloem. So if we say non-vascular, it does not have any of these structures. So pteridophytes are vascular seedless plants. Pteridophytes are vascular seedless plants, but bryophytes are non-vascular seedless plants. Okay? They have true roots, stems, and leaves. I'm talking about the pteridophyte now. And they can go larger than the bryophytes. Pteridophytes reproduce through spores produced in sporangia found on the underside of their fronds or leaves. When we get into pteridophyte proper, I'm going to bring out all of these key points. Now, the last but not the least. Oh, I think they're actually the least. The algae, they're a diverse group of photosynthetic organisms that can be found in various aquatic environments. They are photosynthetic means that they have chlorophyll and so they can produce their own food, and They are basically found in freshwater and marine environment. They are simple autotrophic organisms, and this is where we can find things like your chlorophyta, your euglenophyta, diatoms, seaweed like the brown algae. You must have heard things about the like, things such as the red algae, the brown algae, and all of that. The green algae. This is where they come. Even the cyanobacteria, the blue-green algae, is found under this group. Okay. In summary, we've learned that seedless plants are plants that cannot reproduce via seeds. They can only reproduce via spores, and that they are broken into the non-vascular and then the vascular seedless plants. Under the non-vascular seedless plants, we have the algae and the bryophytes. Then under the vascular plants, we have the pteridophytes. So please, now you need to know about the habitat and the distribution. From the moist and shaded environment to open and arid regions, that is where you can find bryophytes, seedless plants rather. But bryophytes such as mosses and liverworts prefer to be found in damp and shaded environment. But the pteridophytes, you can find them in forests and other types of ecosystems around the world. Pteridophytes like ferns are significant primary producers in some ecosystems. They produce their own food themselves, and then when we say primary producers, they help to trap the energy from the sunlight and pass it as a channel to other parts of the food chain. Yes, they photosynthesize. We already stated that. These are their roles in the environment. Soil and erosion control. Yes, they can be used to control soil erosion. Bryophytes specifically prevent erosion. Please take note of that. It's an important function of the bryophytes. Yes, because they are like mats. They help to retain moisture and prevent soil from being washed away. This is just talking about the soil erosion control. And so biodiversity support, yes, they provide habitat and microclimates for various organisms, including small invertebrate fungi and other microorganisms. The services and niches created by mosses and liverworts offer a sheltered environment for many species. Nitrogen fixation is another very important role of seedless plants. They help to fix nitrogen from the environment. You know the way plant can fix carbon dioxide from the atmosphere and convert them into sugars. Nitrogen is another important element. It's important for amino acid formation, which will therefore later form your proteins. And so, if nitrogen is not fixed from the atmosphere, the ecosystem will be in chaos. And so, for seedless plants, they are very, very important. They have to fix nitrogen from the atmosphere into stable forms. That is very important. And they also use as indicator species. What this means is that you can use them to indicate whether an environment is polluted or not. So if you find them growing in a particular environment, you will say, ah, this environment is clean enough. But if you cannot find them growing there, you can say that the environment is polluted. So that is why we use certain species such as the lichens. They are used for indicator. They're used as indicators rather. So we call them indicator species. Hydration and water retention. Biophyte can absorb and retain large amounts of water even in nutrient poor environment. So where there is no water, they can be used to retain a lot of water in such environments. They contribute to maintaining a local hydrological cycles, that means the water cycles, and they can play a role in mitigating the impact of drought in certain ecosystems. Recolonization and succession. Seedless plants, especially, take notes. I had to use the red color to highlight it. Mosses and lichens are often among the pioneer species in primary succession. This means that when, for example, in normal biology succession, it means in a new habitat, for example, they are the first to be seen. So we call them pioneer species. And when they are found in such habitats, they give room for soil formation and for other plants to arrive, and then animal life, so on and so forth. Without them, there will be no succession. So they are very, very important for recolonization and succession. That's the end of my video. I hope you've learned a lot. Please, if you have any question, you can just ask me through the comment section. I'll be very, very glad to answer your questions. Stay tuned for my next class. Thank you very much. Bye for now.